Welcome to the Great Author Show, hosted by Dr. Anthony L. Gant, and I am happy to be here with you all on IntellectualRadio.com. Today's show, we're going to feature a few authors just to let you know what will be coming up next. This show is all dedicated to helping get exposure to independent authors that you may not know about. I call it unknown greatness, and understand some of the things that they have in their books. This particular show, I'm going to have a few authors call in that I will be interviewing week. So every week we will be on with a different author from somewhere around the country. Some of those authors will be sitting here with me live. Some will call in and we will talk to them over the phone and while they explain some of the things in their books. The reason why I think this is important, sometimes just looking at a cover and hearing the title of a book, it's not always easy to find out what's in the book. So when you talk to the author directly, you can find out what's in the book, why they wrote the book, is the book for me or maybe someone I know, and then you can make purchases of the book. Any author that I actually interview, they will sign the books that they send out. They also sell the books on unknowngreatness.com, and you'll see other authors there. So any author that will be interviewed, you will see their book on that store as well. So we're going to go over a few things. So again, for those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Anthony L. Gant again. I am the author of 20 books on the self-help side as well. And as you can see some of the books here, The Wealth Formula and Becoming a Better Me. I've written some things on Promote Like a Pro, how to be in healthy relationships, self-esteem, self-discipline, more money, how to work a network marketing business, many other topics. So I'm big on writing books. So one of the sponsors of our show is obviously unknowngreatness.com, which is a independent bookseller, as well as Get It Done Publishing Services, where they publish independent book authors to help them get their products out and get them into the marketplace. Now, a lot of things you need to understand about when it comes to independent authors and why a person like me and many other authors write books. Some people do write books for fame and popularity, but the people that I interview, we write books for become difference makers. They're trying to help you with something in your life, maybe helping a child read better with a children's book, maybe some poetry that helped them get out of some things that they were involved in and help them get out of a hole they were in. Or maybe it may be something that they do well, maybe something professional that they do well. So we help people write the books, but then we also help people tell you about the books, because I really believe that the more you know, the more you read, the better you can lead. You can do better in life. Now, a lot of times people tell me, hey, Dr. Gant, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next level. I'm ready for more money. I'm ready for whatever. And I always share with them, what are the first four letters in the word ready? And it's READ. And you can say that two ways, read or read. Always tell people you aren't ready if you don't read. And if you don't read, you'll never be ready. So if you're ready for more, ready to do more, ready to open up a business, my first question to you is, what have you read? If you tell me nothing, then you just answer your question that you're not ready to get to the next level. Now, the thing that's so different when you deal with independent authors compared to dealing with authors that's not independent, it's not like one is better than the other. You deal with real people that have real issues, and they're a little bit more touchable or reachable because they're writing a lot of times from themselves. Like me, for instance, I write books from myself. I've been in that hole before, so I write how to get out the hole that I was in, what I learned to get out of that hole, and then I share that information with other people. For instance, this book that you see here displayed, Becoming a Better Me. Becoming a Better Me, I really believe a lot of us just don't know how valuable we are, so we don't work on ourselves. So that may be okay when you're 10, 12, 15 years old that you're not working on yourself. Really, it isn't. But, a lot of times we don't know. But there's something wrong with that at 35, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old when you don't work on yourself. There's something wrong when we have personality problems within ourselves that we know that's been there for 20, 30 years and we haven't solved them. So when you work on yourself, what you do is put yourself in a position to become a better you. Now, if you're not interested in becoming a better you, what would happen is that you won't work on yourself. So that's what that book is about, how to work on you. And the first thing you must realize is that you are valuable. If you don't think you're valuable, then you would never work on yourself to become more valuable. That's why that's important. But if you don't read on how to become more valuable, how are you going to become more valuable? And a lot of times we get a lot of information from friends and family, and some of this information is good, but some of this information is really dead wrong. Mama did it this way, daddy did it this way. And even though mom and daddy did it this way, because we think just because people are old, that means that they're smart. But if you never tried to get smart, just because you got old, don't mean that you're smart. Just means you got old. That's all that means. You have to work on getting smart in order to become smart. So that's what that book is about. For instance, the book on the wealth formula. I really believe that if you're not wealthy, then you're probably in poverty. So that means you need to know how to become wealthy. How do you become wealthy? It's not just a state of mind. That's cool if you have it, but it's 7 things you need to know, understand, and do for at least 7 years to be worth 7 figures. And a lot of times we don't understand those things and we get caught up in a lot of get rich quick schemes and scams and getting bamboozled out of our money. So, can we get rich by Friday? Not realizing that it takes a lot of work to become wealthy. It takes a lot of work to actually understand what an asset is and a liability is. It takes a lot of work on handling multiple income streams. It takes a lot of work on developing residual incomes and understanding leverage and all those different things. Well, if you don't know those things, then guess what? You have a hard time becoming wealthy, and then you might get caught up or bamboozled and get conned out of some money just because of the fact that it sounds too good to be true. In most cases, it is. You can't be rich overnight unless you hit the lottery, but most of us are not going to hit the lottery. But you can become wealthy over a period of time. You may not become wealthy in a short time, but you can become wealthy over a period of time. Another book you see on the side of me here as well also is called It's Great, How to Be in Healthy Relationships. Now, it's important that we be in healthy relationships. Now, it's easy to get into a relationship, but a lot of times we don't get into healthy relationships. But if you look at the first 4 letters of the word health, it's HEAL, heal. When you get into a healthy relationship, you got to want to be healed, and then you need to want to share the healing that you have with another person. Because the person that you are, you're going to take everywhere you go. So if you take an unhealthy person to work, you'll take an unhealthy person home. You'll take an unhealthy person to the barbecue. You'll take an unhealthy person to grandma's house. You'll take an unhealthy person everywhere you go. Because everywhere you go, you have to take you with you. You can't leave you at home and then take you somewhere else. That's just not how it works. Where you go, you go. So that means that you have to work on being healthy and understanding that there's things to be healthy. You need to be able to encourage people and you need to be able to put people in a position that they can receive a healing from you. So the question you need to ask yourself when it comes to being in a healthy relationship, are you healed or are you operating in a healing? In other words, what type of healing do you have? Can you heal somebody if they step into your life right now? Now, I'm not talking about, what some people think in churches and things, laying hands on people. I'm not saying things like that. I'm talking about the essence of who you are as a person. Can you help heal a person if they come into your life? Because people come into your life hurting. And if you never get healed from a hurt, it doesn't disappear. It just becomes a bigger hurt. And it hurts other people that come into your life. So that's something that you need to understand as well. Another book you'll see over here I have is called Promote Like a Pro and how to consistently grow your business. Now, a lot of times we're in business and we don't know how to consistently grow our business. We're in business a lot of times because of the fact that we don't want to work a job. Nothing wrong with that. People don't understand that when you get into business, you got a whole bunch of jobs. You got a lot of things you need to do. It's not just one thing you need to do. You have to work on marketing. You have to work on sales. You got to work on customer service, research and development, planning, education and training, dealing with suppliers. That's a lot of work, right? So if you want to get better, you need to understand how do you operate in all those functions. So one thing about promoting like a pro, a lot of people that come into business, we don't have a bunch of money to come into business. So what happens is you still have to promote your business. You're still gonna have to spend money and you're still gonna have to spend effort. You need to put both of those things in there together. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to promote your business effectively like you should. So, if you want to learn how to promote like a pro, obviously you need to read books on how to promote effectively. Got another book called I Love Me. It's on self-esteem. A lot of times people don't realize they say things like, "Hey, this person has low self-esteem," or "I have low self-esteem," and they don't even understand what the word esteem means. High value. So, how you gonna have low high value? That's an oxymoron. Now you can have unhealthy self-esteem, but you can't have low high value. That means that you already are valuable. Your job is to get your self-esteem or the health of your self-esteem better so that you can become more valuable. So that's something else we do. We have a book, also a book that I've written this over here on what's next after high school. A lot of children and kids or young adults grow up and they don't know what to do after high school. Everybody's not fit to go to the university, the state university. Some people need to go to have other options. And the problem it is that comes with a lot of people is that they don't know which direction they're going to go in. I mean, you're 17, 18 years old and people trying to tell you to figure out your whole life like right now. And a lot of times the truth of the matter is a lot of 17, 18-year-olds don't know the options they have available. So that's another thing, is showing young people early enough, not at 17, 18, but why not 13, so they can see the many options they have available. Everybody won't be on a football scholarship. Everybody won't be the number one student in the class. However, they still can be a success in life if they knew the options that they had, not just while they're in high school, that they can actually apply after they get out of high school. So another book we have as well. Uh, Another one that we have is self-discipline. I personally think that self-discipline is the most important thing you need to have in being and doing anything. I call it get and keep, the art of self-discipline. And if you don't want to get things, you need to actually be more self-disciplined. So now we have one of our authors coming in, and let's see what we have here. Hello. Hello, how you doing there, Melaine Young? One of our authors. So you on live now here on the Great Author Show. So since I have you on here, I would like for you to share who you are and what's the name of your book, and just a little tidbit. I don't want to give people too much. I want them to hear the full interview in the next few weeks when we interview you personally.
Awesome. Well, hello. My name is Melaine Young, and the title of my book is How to Thrive Through Life's Transitions. I wish someone had told me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Go ahead and tell us about the book, Melaine. I mean, why did you write the book?
Well, originally, I did not write the book to publish it, but I was participating in a speaker's training in Vegas, and the owner, when we got through sharing all of our testimonies and what we had gone through and the things that we were thinking about doing in the speaking arena, the gentleman said, you need to write a book. Mm-hmm. And at first I thought, I don't have a clue what I would write about and who would want or need this book. But I just started compiling some things that I knew had been beneficial to me and helped me through my walk and my journey, and allowed me to come out always in a much better place, where friends and family would always say, wow, I would never have known that you went through this or that, and because you're always so positive and things always work out for you. And I thought, wow, maybe I should write this book.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay, that's good. So how long did it take you to write the book?
Well, like I said, I was collecting the information over a period of time, but when I actually decided to write the book and put the energy into it to write the book, it really only took me about a month to pull all the pieces together.
Okay.
And then there was the other process, as you know, being a publisher, finding the right people to do the other pieces, the editing and the design and things of that nature.
Right. Okay, that's good. So who do you think your book is for? Now that you have it out and it has sold many copies, who can benefit from it?
Like I said, originally I really just wrote it for me, but now that I've had the book out and I've gotten so many different testimonials, things that I never really would have imagined would have been a benefit to, let's say, couples or individuals who are dealing with maybe anxiety and depression and things of that nature. Honestly, I have many chapters in the book that address different situations in life that I feel if we get a hold of those, we are better off in or after that transition. So it's really anyone going through a specific transition. It could be a relationship, it could be heartbreak, it could be a loss of a loved one, it could be a career change. Because as you know, we're always going through some transition. We either just left one, we're going into one, or we're recovering from one.
Yeah, you said that about right. So I like how you said that it's going through transitions, because I think sometimes we think that we should not go through anything. I just got out of that, so I'm good now, right? It's been 2 in a row. I'm 21. Right? Nothing else should happen in my life that I need to transition through, and nothing negative should ever happen in my life that make me even think about transitioning. So I like the way you put that, and I like how you stated you and pretty much what the show is about, Melaine, is showing people who are just like you and I that real things happen. However, we got out of some real things. and
Absolutely.
some real people can help them. And it's not just for being popular and selling books to try to make yourself look like you're famous and all those things. We don't mind. I tell people you can be paid or you can be popular. You just pick which one you want to be, right? Uh,
Exactly.
but but one thing that kind of assures being paid is being purposeful.
Absolutely.
So I like
Because
how
popularity is overrated.
overrated. Yes, it is. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing some things about the book. Obviously you'll be interviewed, and I wanted some the audience to hear you, because you'll be interviewed in the next few weeks as well, and obviously we
I'm
have more
looking forward
time.
to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, so you can expound on it more, help a few people more. Obviously, we have people calling in to ask you some questions about your book and how they can use some of the things, and obviously, make purchase. So, uh, to find out more about Melane's book, if you want to purchase it before she gets interviewed, you can go to unknowngreatness.com and you can purchase it there. And Melane will make sure she signs it when you get it, so you have a signature, because a lot of people don't have signature signed copies of books in their library. So we try to make sure that happens for people. So Melane,
Yes.
I appreciate you coming on here and sharing with us
Thank
a
you
few
for
minutes.
having me.
Oh, no problem. Look forward to the extended interview in the upcoming weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to connecting with you and your audience.
Thank you, Melane. Thank you very
Have
much.
a good night.
Thank you. You do the same.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Great. So that was Melane Young and sharing things about her book. So looking forward to having her on the show, and looking forward to you all having the opportunity to ask her some questions about her book. Sometimes when people are walking around through life, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know if they're happy or sad, or they go to work with you every day. They may live next door to you, and you don't know what type of challenges they have, and we call them in our society, a lot of us said people have issues, right? Almost make it sound like it's a terrible thing to have. And if you actually research it out and research the word issues actually is the form called question. So a lot of people have questions about life. Is anything wrong with having questions about life? I don't think so. What's wrong is that we don't have answers, or we don't ask the questions that we have to people that may have answers for them, for the questions that we have. So we can't get help. So one thing about books I like is that you can read them in the corner of your house and nobody ever see you reading them. Right? You can have an issue, a question, a concern, a problem, or something that you want to know, and no one will see you in your bedroom while you read the book. Right? It's because a lot of times we don't want to seek out help. Uh, in some societies, in some culture, seeking out help is a little bit more um, done awesome all the time, and in some cultures, it's not done that often. It's almost made to look like you have a weakness if you seek out help. So that's why I'm an advocate for books, because it's a way that you can get some help. Seek it out, and you don't have to actually feel quote unquote embarrassed about seeking out some type of help because you're reading it in a book. So that's something that I think is good for people to do. And here's something I always share with people. I was a poor reader. Sometimes people look at me now and see all the books that I've written, and all the things I've accomplished. I always call myself a young man until I get to 100. When I get to 100, I'm gonna call myself old. But when I was in about 10 years old, I was a poor reader. I was the guy that read the dog choose Charles Chase the cat. That was me. Got poor grades all in school because I couldn't read well. And my mom and dad end up letting me read the sports magazines and things of that nature, in the back page of the newspaper. And I read those pretty well, but they didn't have a class in that in grade school on how to read the sports section of the newspaper. But eventually I started reading. And when I got about 20 years old, I read 3 books in 1 year, man. You thought I won the Olympic gold medal. I was in the United States Navy at the time, called home and told my mom, Mom, guess what I did this year? She said, What you did? I read 3 books. Woo, we was excited on the phone talking about the 3 books I read that year. Following year, I read 12 books. We were like, woo, wee, that's 2 gold medals. After that, I was reading, 50 books a year, 50 to 100 books a year. And eventually I started writing books. I haven't even thought about writing books. It never crossed my mind. I just realized there was a lot of stuff I didn't know. And I wanted to learn how to do some things. I thought that I was behind, right? Like, for instance, I tell people I didn't understand what goal setting was. I was 21 years old. I never heard the term like goal setting. I heard the term like have a goal, graduate. But goal setting, that was like something new. And I thought when I heard it, how come I didn't learn this at 10 years old? Goal setting, like how to set goals. And I never heard it. And I knew my mom and dad loved me. I knew that if they knew, they would have told me. But then, apparently they didn't know either. And my environment didn't know, because that's something that we didn't talk about. So I understood that I had to learn how to actually get better at doing some things. And that's what I ended up doing, you know. So we're going to come on up with another author that I have coming on to share some things about her book as well. Hold on a second. There she is. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself, Andrea, right?
I'm well.
That's,
Hi, all to all the audience.
that's good. That's good. I'm glad you're well. Thank you for calling in, sharing a little tidbit with us about your book. So just introduce yourself and give us something brief about the book that you read.
Well, my name is Andrea Wright. I am an author. My second book should be of Trusting the Tingles. That's the name of my book is Trusting the Tingles.
Okay.
It's all about learning to trust yourself and your intuition.
Okay.
So what if I told you that you could manifest whatever you want in your life?
That'd be
Whether
interesting.
it's just, sorry?
Yeah, I said that'd be good. Go ahead.
Right. Whether it's love, career, family, quell your fears, and just live the best life you can live. I think we all can do that. And that's what I do with my book, which is an exercise book, which helps people learn how to trust their intuition. And that's what I call the tingle.
Okay, that's good. So what made you write the book? I mean, what was it that inspired you to write the book, Trusting the Tingles?
So I am a life coach, an executive coach, and career coach.
Okay.
And one of the things that I heard the most when I was life coaching and career coaching was, we would get to a certain point and the client would say, because all I did was ask questions. And the client would get to a certain point and go, oh, wow, I knew it. I knew it the whole time. I just didn't trust myself.
Okay.
And what I found is that people just generally don't trust themselves. So I wanted to write that to kind of help with my company, which is called The Right Path.
Okay.
And since I have that beautiful name that goes with every pun in the world, so I want people to go on the right path and trust their tingles. And so that's why I wrote it. I wrote it to kind of help people. It's an introduction. It's like a better business card as well.
Okay.
Because it's an introduction into my life and my style. And it really does work well to help people kind of understand what I do and understand themselves better as well.
Okay, that's good. So I like how you said that a lot of people don't trust themselves. I think I can attest to that. Sometimes you do things and you question whether or not you can do it or not. A certain direction you should go in, and well, should I go left or should I go right? But I know I really should go left, but I don't trust the fact that maybe I should go, or maybe I should go right, down the right path, right?
always. It's like always choose black, always choose right. Always bet on black, always bet on right.
Right. I'm sure you would say that, Andrea, right?
I would.
Right.
So I'm right.
So who did you write your book for? Like what type of audience?
At one point someone asked me that, and I said it's for everyone, young, old, man, woman. It really doesn't matter. It's for anyone who's searching.
Okay.
And anyone who has those moments where they stop and they don't know whether to go left or right, even though they feel the tug to go right, maybe they turn left. And I actually write about that in my book, because there was a day where I could take two paths to get to work.
Right.
And I felt the need to go right, but I went left
and
got into a car accident.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't a bad car accident. No one was hurt. It was just a fender bender. But I felt the need to go right. And that's kind of why I wrote the book as well, because, I was having all these moments, and I talk about some of them where I actually experienced those kind of moments where I didn't trust myself. Okay. So but I do know when I trust myself, it's all right.
Okay. It's all right. Okay, I can go with that. And that sounds pretty good. I mean, I look forward to interviewing you in the next few weeks And I
Yeah,
wanted
I'm looking forward to it.
good. I wanted people to get a taste of what you have to offer in regards to your book and what to look forward to in regards to some of the information you have, and obviously know if they can even find a coach, an executive coach, career coach, life coach, which is what you are, that they can
Hmm.
actually tap into that too. And obviously your book will be available as well on unknowngreatness.com, and they
Hmm.
can purchase the book from there. And obviously you would make sure they get a signed copy of the book for them to actually enjoy before they even before the interview.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. So I do appreciate you taking the time with me, Miss Andrea Wright, and sharing with us some of the things in your book, and look forward to interviewing you in the next few weeks.
All right, I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Uh,
and bye, everyone.
bye. Okay. And we have another author on the phone here. So who do we have here?
We have Pam Boone. Hey, Doc.
Hey, what's up, Pam? How are you?
All is well. How about yourself?
Everything is well. Thank you for asking. Much better now that you're on the phone here to share with us some of your information about your book.
I am so proud. I am so proud of what's going on over there at Intellectual Radio and you for making it happen.
Well, thank you there, Pam Boone. I appreciate you sharing that information. And we're happy to be here, happy to make our new home over here on IntellectualRadio.com. So
I
look
love it.
look forward to being here a long time and exposing a lot of different authors to the platform here.
And information
Yeah.
like you have authors, you have a wealth of information. So your listeners have no idea what they're in for. And I'm just thankful to be a part of this journey with you, and just just to be in the forefront or the beginning stages, the ground level of what it is that you're embarking upon. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. I was definitely send that check in the mail.
All true, all true.
Right. So, Pam Boone, tell us about who you are and the book that you have written, just to give people just a little bit, because we'll be interviewing you in the upcoming weeks. So, tell us a little bit about your book.
Okay, well, as you said, my name is Pam Boone, and I'm an author.
Okay.
I wrote, as it turns out, I'm an author. Didn't really know that I was, but it's interesting that if you get quiet and you get with yourself and just listen to your purpose, that you realize that we have gifts and talents that we do have to share with the world. So my first book, because I'm working on my second book, but my first one is called "Do It for Yourself."
Mm-hmm.
And "Do It for Yourself" it's a really easy read, but it was intended to encourage individuals. And I can honestly say that my target in that book was to encourage women to live the most wholehearted life.
Right.
Because a lot of times women, we become self-sacrificing to the point of self-deprivation.
Okay.
We sacrifice to the point of self-deprivation because we're nurturers by nature, and we forget about ourselves. We take care of everything and everybody else, and we put ourselves on the back burner.
Right.
And so this book was just to remind women that you only get one life. And if you were ever to live the life that was predetermined for you, predestined for you, nobody can do it for you. You have got to do it for yourself. It's nobody else's responsibility. So that's really the premise of this book, to encourage women that you only get one life and live it because it's yours.
Right. Right. I like that. So what drove you to write the book yourself? I mean, what was it in life to do it for yourself? What got you there?
Well, doing it for myself was something that I'd always done and believed in.
Okay.
But I was having conversations. I got to the point in my life where I was having conversations, and the conversations seemed resounding. Like I was having the same conversation over and over again.
Okay.
Like within a week, I'd have this conversation 20 times. And so I sat back and had to listen to myself.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, well, what am I supposed to do with this information? Because you don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Because if you do, you sound like a broken record. So I'm thinking, I want people to have the information, but I want to be able to move on to what's next, because I believe that that's how life comes in cycles and in seasons. So once I was able to realize that what I was purposed to do was to put this in a book so that I can move on to the next phase in life, I called you. Is what I did. I called you and I said, hey, I think I'm supposed to be writing a book. Because
it was the same message. I said the same thing over and over again.
Right.
And after me getting tired of saying it to myself, I said, I think I need to put this in print.
Right.
So that I could share this, because the message was true, was timely, and it's eternal. Like it's something that I don't think will ever go away.
Yeah.
That women being nurturers by nature will always give and always sacrifice. And I just want women to know that you don't have to give up who you are in order to be there for someone else. Actually, you can't be there for someone else if you don't maintain the integrity of who you are.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I think a lot of people need to hear that message. And obviously, it's nice if they can hear that 10 years old, but a lot of times, that doesn't get to them at 10 years old. So hearing it as an adult, I think is very advantageous for them too. So, I've known you for a long time, and I know how you have always done it for yourself. So you're a living testament. You already lived the book for 20 plus years, longer than that, really. But you lived the book for a long time. And I think sometimes, Pam, when people meet independent authors, they think that we haven't lived these things, right? They think like we just kind of woke up yesterday and wrote this book and brought it out today, not realizing that we had put a lot of life into that book, because we put a lot of that book is part of our life. It's part of us that's out there. So I really think that a lot of people will get a lot out of your book. I mean, I'm really looking forward to interviewing you here in the next few weeks in regards to your book, and people obviously can purchase your copy of your book from unknowngreatness.com, and they can have a signed copy from it when they purchase the book from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a great read. Obviously, it's a book that I've read, and I look forward to your second book as well, and look forward to you interviewing you in the next upcoming weeks.
As do I. Thank you so much for having me, Doc. And I'm so incredibly proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
And this platform is going to do great things. I mean, really, like, people have no idea of the intellectualism that they'll get from this show.
Thank
and
you.
And I'm thankful that you stepped out on faith and made this move. So kudos to you.
Thank you
and
very much.
everybody who's tuning in.
Thank
kudos
you very much.
to you for listening.
I'm going to take you on the road with me. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Have a good night, okay?
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. So we have some other authors. So that's Pam is another author. Obviously, I'll be interviewing in the next coming weeks. And if you notice that the authors that we heard so far, they sound like you and I. Sound like real people, not trying to act anything other than who they are. A lot of the authors that I interview, I personally know. I don't meet an author today and have an interview them tomorrow. That's not how I work. There's some people I've known for many years, some people I may know for a few years, and some people I have many hours of conversation with them, even if I've known them for a short time, so I can get the essence of who they are and what they've written about. And obviously, I try to coach them along in what they do. Like Pam kind of emphasized there that, that she came to me when she was ready to write a book, and I coach people on how to write a book and how to publish a book and how to promote and market the books that you write. I do a lot of that in the Chicagoland area and different parts of the country as well. However, Chicago is my home, and Chicago will always be my home. So I do a lot of the things that I do in the Chicagoland area. And obviously, in the fall, we're going to have a authors conference. You're going to same thing that I'm doing here. And I would announce these things as time go on. We're going to do some author showcases. I do those in the Chicagoland area. And normally, I have somewhere between 5 and 10 authors, and I give each one of them 10 to 12 minutes to speak on their book in front of a live audience, and you can purchase their book, because I'm really adamant about, if you hear more from the author, you get more out of the book, and it makes you want to buy it. Because some people have pretty covers. Maybe you bought a book and hit a really, really pretty cover and like, oh man, it's not what I thought it was. Maybe the title caught you and you grabbed it. It's like, oh man, I thought this was a book on how to comb my hair. It's a book on how to drive a car, something totally different. And so, I'll be doing a lot of those. I'll be doing a lot of things with speakers as well. It'd be speaker showcases, and people can come in and hear speakers, share what they know, and normally about 5 or 10 speakers. And because I believe in positivity, I believe in. It's a reason why I'm here on IntellectualRadio.com, is because I believe in intellectual. I believe in intelligence. I believe in being smarter. I believe in all those things. So the name of the station I've watched for a while, even though I'm bringing my show here, I watched it for a while, so I like the name and seeing what it is, what has happened over the last few years with the station and how it has progressed and expanded. And this was the time for me to be a part of it. And then, when intellectual, I got to be a part of intellectual because I just like smart stuff, right? So, and I want to be around where intelligence is not shunned, it's not frowned upon. It's something that's strived for, and that's what I'm going to try to implement on this show, the Great Author Show. My main focus is to help with your intellect, to help you get smarter, help you get wiser, help you make better decisions. Not trying to rule your life, not trying to tell you you're a bad person, but help give you information that you can say, "Hey, man, I heard that on that show, and I can put this into practice like today. I can use this tomorrow. I can share this with my husband or wife, or with my son or daughter, mom or dad, or with my best friend, or the lady that's sitting in the next cubicle at work with me, my neighbor." I want to spread that around, spread that type of positivity around, but I know it takes work. You just don't get smart and get intelligent by doing nothing. I know that you're going to have to put the work in order to make that happen. And I want to make sure I have the tools here from people, just not of myself, but of other people that know some things. I don't know everything. I don't want people to think I know everything because I don't. I'm far from that. I know some things, and I want to make sure that I can share those things. But I know of some other people that know things I don't know. So I got another author that's going to come on and share with you what they do. Hello.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, how you doing, Terry?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes.
Okay. We got Terry Budget on the line. He's another author. So thanks for calling in, Terry. I do appreciate it. What I like you obviously tell the audience who you are and where you from and what you wrote about. Just a little snippet, because once you start getting this topic, I know people are gonna fall all out and want more and more and more. So they're gonna have to get more once you get interviewed in the next few weeks. So tell us who you are, Terry, and what you wrote on and where you
Good.
from.
Okay, then first, thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome.
Of course, my name is Terry Budget. I'm from Morehead City, North Carolina, and I wrote a book called The Leader's Blueprint:
Okay.
How Average Leaders Become Alphas and Why You Should Too.
I like.
The premise of the book is laid out on 5 pillars,
Okay.
which is the alpha, what I call the alpha philosophy.
Okay.
It's ALPHA, which
Okay.
is attitude, leadership, purpose, honor, and acumen.
Okay.
And the basis of the book is to set the foundation of not what to do, but how to be.
Okay.
Okay. You have your average leaders, you have your great leaders, and you have what I call the exceptional leaders, or the alphas.
Okay.
Now, the average leaders think inside the box.
Okay.
Your great leaders think outside the box.
Okay.
But your exceptional leaders, what I call the alphas, remove the box completely. They have what I call stratospheric thinking.
Okay.
Anything is possible if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, and you can make it manifest itself into reality.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing stops an alpha.
Okay. I like that. Terry, before you go a little bit further, because sometimes when people write books on leadership, they never led anything, right? They wrote a book on leadership and said, "Who do you lead?" Nobody.
I'll tell you, Tony. Growing up, I was an introvert. I mean, I was definitely the follower.
Right. Okay.
But it wasn't until I entered the military service, which I did for 21 years.
That's what I wanted you to say. See, I need you to say that part because you and I have some kinship because we both been in the military. And one thing about the military, it may not be all good for everybody, but they're gonna teach you early how to be a leader.
You know what? And the amazing thing is this: it may seem that the leadership structure is one-dimensional, but I tell you one thing, and some may agree, some may disagree, but I can only tell you what worked for me.
Right.
They taught me how to be the better part of myself.
Okay. Right.
And when it came down to my deployments in combat, I had to lead soldiers into combat zones. And it's not you go here or you go there. It's follow me, let's go.
Right. I like that. And see, that's why I wanted you to say that, because you wrote a book on leadership because you have experience in leadership and doing things in a way to help lead people. I like how you say, let's go. See, when you're a leader, you use let's and us, and I'm from the hood. Sometimes I say us's, right?
Because
Go ahead.
most people think that leadership is hierarchical, leads from the top to the bottom. When the most effective form of leadership is really unilateral.
Yeah.
Everybody has to say so because everybody has input. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that the decision is made by everyone.
Right.
Everyone incorporates their ideas to create a situation or a resolution to a problem that's beneficial to everyone.
Right. I like that. I mean, I'm looking forward to you being interviewed on the show in the next few weeks. I mean, obviously, you're from North Carolina. So a lot of times I want people to know that, we stretch across the country finding authors, right? So it's not just one little pocket in one little place. And I know how passionate you are about share in the book on leadership, and I know a lot of people need to have what you have shared in there. And I look forward to interviewing you in the next coming weeks. And I appreciate you taking the time to share with people just a little tidbit on what you have to offer. And obviously, Terry book can be purchased as well on unknowngreatness.com, and it would be signed when you purchase it, and you can have it before you get interviewed. But I'm gonna have him for a whole hour, so you only got about 3 minutes and some change with him today. But I'm gonna have him for a whole 60 minutes when we get interviewed. So I look forward to that, Terry. I do appreciate you taking the time and sharing with the audience what you have available as well.
So am I, Tony. I really appreciate you having me, and I'm looking forward to the interview and sharing and experiencing the knowledge that we both bring to the table, and hopefully together we can impact lives for the better.
Sounds good. I appreciate that, Terry. You have a great day, man. Look forward to talking to you soon.
You as well, Tony. Take care.
Take care now. Bye-bye. So that was Terry Budget. So that was another one of our authors. Again, I would be interviewing authors from all parts of the country. Now, let me make this disclaimer. I am not in every state of the union. Okay, so I don't know authors in every state in the union. I work with authors in about 31 states in the union. So, I work with a few now. Some places I haven't been able to reach authors yet, but just give me time and I will. So I look forward to working with some of these authors across. So I got another author on the phone so we can talk to them as well. Hello.
Hey, Dr. Gant, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Jimmy, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. So it's Jimmy Emmons. So, Jimmy, I met Jimmy a few years ago. It's been about 10 years now, Jimmy?
Yeah, at least.
At least, right?
yeah, at least.
At least. And you got about 3-4 books out now, right?
Yeah, about 4 right now. I'm working on 2 more. Before the end of the year, they'll be out. Right. They've already been written. It's just not published yet.
Okay.
But I've been teaching from them.
That's good. I appreciate that. So tell us who you are and where you're from and what you want to share. A few things about the books that you have. Obviously, I'm gonna have you for an whole hour in the next coming weeks. But just share with the audience who you are and where you're from and what you have available.
Well, I'm balanceologist Jimmy. I'm Jimmy Emmons. I'm balanceologist Jimmy Emmons.
Okay.
That's just the kind of the title that we've been dubbed and given. We just balanceologist is simply one who teaches true biblical principles, balance principles. But anyway, I was born in Chicago. I've been married about 39 years.
You you're only about 40, right? You and your wife about 40, right?
yeah. Hey, man, you too kind, Doc.
Hey, was that an arranged marriage or something? Y'all get married at 1 year old?
Right. Yeah, it's been that long. Both my children, my son just had his 30th birthday, so that kind of lets you know where we're at. But but life is good,
I appreciate it. That's good. That's good to know. So I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish telling us more about you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm a nonfiction writer.
Okay.
And I write biblical-based spiritual books.
Okay.
And all of my books deal exclusively and extensively with balance as a single subject matter.
Okay.
So a few other things. I'm a teacher. I'm a licensed minister. I'm a deacon. I'm a certified speaker and publisher. Mm-hmm. And so that's a little bit of something about me. I'm retired about almost 11 years now.
Okay.
From the automotive industry.
Okay.
And And so I think that I write books that people need to know about. I try to write in a passionate way but a precise way. But I'm also, I would think of myself as being gently persuasive.
Okay, so you're not a bully or nothing. You're not what make you better buy this book or else, right?
I'm gently persuasive.
Right. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like how you say balanceologist, because a lot of times we have titles, and a lot of times people don't know. They know current titles, and sometimes you get so good at something that you create a whole new title, a whole new industry, right? Because of
what you're right, Doc. Because basically that's kind of like what I fell into. Because when I began to write about balance as a single subject matter, I really couldn't find a definition that met all the criteria on how the spirit wanted it to be taught.
Okay.
And so basically, we had to come up with what we call a working definition.
Okay.
And so that working definition of balance is this: balance is the ability to apply the right amount of weight. Everything weighs something of four things.
Okay.
Time, effort, and energy and resources.
Okay.
To a matter, any matter. So I don't care what you deal with in life.
Right.
You cannot extrapolate any one of those four things out of the process of anything that you do.
Right.
There's always going to be time involved, effort involved, energy involved, and resources of some type involved. So, so that's the working definition of balance. And that's how we teach it from that perspective.
That's good.
How to bring balance to all. If you're going to bring balance to your life, you have to deal with all four of those aspects of balance.
And your books, because you wrote, I think this is a 4-volume set, right? This is a franchise, correct?
Right. So we call it the DELL approach, DELL.
Okay.
And what those acronyms stand for, it stands for define, embrace, learn, and live.
I like that.
And that's the order that we teach it in. For you first have to define what balance is. That's anything really.
Right.
Then you have to embrace that definition.
Mm-hmm.
Then only after you embrace that definition can you learn that particular definition. And then after you learn it, then you have to live it.
Right. Okay, I like that. Jimmy, I appreciate you taking the time to share with us a little tidbit. I don't want to give people too much.
Yeah.
I want them to come back and hear the whole hour.
Yeah.
When we interviewed you.
Right.
You can purchase Jimmy Emmett's books also on unknowngreatness.com, and when you purchase the book, he will sign the book as well, and when you get it, so and you can have the book before he's interviewed, or obviously you can wait till he's interviewed and buy the big book then, but you can purchase the book at any time. And I do appreciate you, Jimmy Emmett, for coming on. Tell the family I say hello as well. I do appreciate them for giving you a little time in this day in the evening to share with us in the audience what you have available.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Dr. Ant, for allowing me to do this here. And once again, I'm really looking forward to speaking with you, and more extensively about what balance is, because balance is really a subject matter that many people say they want in their life, but they really don't know how to go about getting it.
Right.
But balance is really simple, but everything simple. It's not necessarily easy to do.
That's right.
But balance is a term that that speaks to both order and harmony.
I like that. That's good.
And order represent processes, and harmony represent the synergistic movement of those processes.
I like that. That's good. Okay.
But balance is a delicate combination of both those things. So yeah, I really look forward to having an extensive conversation, stimulating.
Yes.
Extensive conversation, with you and the audience.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I look forward to it, Jimmy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you have a good evening, okay?
You be blessed and you be balanced.
Thank you. You do the same.
Right.
Okay, bye. Well, that was another one of our authors that was that we're going to be interviewing in the next few weeks. And again, it'll be a different author every week. So obviously, I know quite a few authors. What I'm looking for one more author to call in. He hasn't. I guess I don't know if he's called in yet, but I'm looking for him to call in so we can speak briefly about his book. So he can come on here and share with us what he has going on. So let me see, can I get in touch with him? Tell him to call on in here. So he can come on it, so he can share what his book is about. So forgive me for that interruption there, but here's something I want you to realize. any of the authors, and you heard most of the authors say, I'm on book 2, or I have multiple books. And here's the reality. If people hang out with me long enough, they get past with number 1. Number 1 may be where we start, but number 1 won't be where we stay. So I got this author on. So let's see here who we have here. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Romeo.
Yes, Romeo Qua at your service.
Okay. Thank you, Romeo, for taking the time to come on the call and share with us some information about your book. So, tell us who you are and, title of your book and what you wrote about. Just a little snippet, couple 3 minutes or so people can have something to look forward to when it comes to you and your book.
Well, my name is Romeo Qua, and my last name is an acronym. It stands for Knowledge, Wisdom, and Understanding.
Okay.
The title of my book is Trapped in an Open Cell.
Okay.
And when I was talking to a few people, they were like, "Oh, the lead character went to the penitentiary." I said, "No, it has nothing to do with the penitentiary." I'm a Chicagoan, born and raised.
Okay.
And that reflects in my book.
Okay.
It has a lot of Chicago in it. I mean, I love my town.
Okay, I hear you.
Love my town.
I hear you. I'm with you.
A little bit about the book.
Okay.
It arose in a group setting. Me and some of the guys were sitting around, smoking cigars, sipping a little brandy.
Okay.
And bourbon, of course. So, we got to talking about life in general and, our spouses and different things that we go through as married men.
Mm-hmm.
And the book reflects on that, because it's a lot of people out here that think, men ain't nothing and, different things and different terms of that life, but, they don't always walk in another man's shoes.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't always know the whole story. So this book is, putting the spotlight on the gentleman's story about what he went through and what friends of his went through in different marriages.
Right. Okay. I like that. So, obviously, you and I have talked numerous times, and I know it's a lot of information in the book. I'm really looking forward to interviewing you personally, in the next few weeks about the book, because I know you have a lot to share. You have a lot of knowledge and information to share throughout the book. And obviously, I know you're writing your next one is coming up soon. So you're already in the process of working on the other one. So I can't wait to hear about that one too, as we go through a few more interviews and everything, and how you're here. And obviously, you'll be able to purchase Romeo's book on unknowngreatness.com as well, and he will sign it for you. And obviously, he probably, like all the authors, especially if they're local in Chicago area, will be in some of the author cases I will have in the future. And so you'll be able to meet some of these people personally as well. Obviously, you'll see them on the show here and hear them, but you'll see them in the future as well on some of the other events that we have planned too. So, Romeo, I do appreciate you taking the time and sharing some of the information about your book. Look forward to doing a whole hour interview with you in the next few weeks. So I do want to say thank you again for taking the time with me.
I thank you for having me on your show.
No
Great
problem.
experience for me. I'm just starting out and, I'm just putting my foot on the gas.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate you. And we'll be talking soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace.
Well, so that's our show for today. Looking for us every Thursday here on Intellectual Radio, 8 to 9 Central Standard Time, and obviously in other places. Just check us out and keep up. If you got information that you want to get to me, you can go to drtonygann@gmail.com, and you can email me if you have questions or anything like that, 773-984-9848, 773-984-9848. It's been a pleasure for me, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a great week.